Okay, so what if I told you there's a skill, one that can instantly make you seem more confident, more attractive, and command respect, all without you ever saying a single word? Well, today, we are diving into Patrick King's guide to turn your eye contact into a literal superpower.
I mean, think about it. People truly, wholeheartedly believe that the eyes just don't lie. It's like we're all hardwired to see someone's eyes as a direct window into their soul, right? It's how we decide almost instantly if we can trust someone, if they know what they're talking about, or if they're being straight with us. But here's the flip side, and this is where the stakes get really, really high. Because if people believe the eyes don't lie, they're also programmed to assume the absolute worst. So weak eye contact? It doesn't just make you look a little shy. Oh no. It makes people jump to some pretty harsh conclusions about you.
So really, it comes down to this choice. On one hand, weak eye contact gets you slapped with labels like creepy or untrustworthy. It can even make people think you have a weak character. But get it right, suddenly you're seen as confident, powerful, trustworthy. It is a total game changer for first impressions. So why is this so hard for so many of us? It's not because we're actually untrustworthy people, right? It all boils down to one single core problem, a feeling that just sabotages everything: unspoken tension. You know exactly what I'm talking about. It's that intense, super uncomfortable feeling that just builds and builds when you're holding someone's gaze. The book calls it the feeling of eyes boring into your head. It gets so intense that your brain just starts screaming, "Look away, anywhere, now!" And in that split second of panic, you glance away, and boom, the damage is done. That tension, that's the real enemy we have to defeat. Okay, so if tension is the big bad villain here, how do you actually conquer it? Well, the answer isn't to just grit your teeth and try harder. Nope, you have to train for it, just like you would for any other skill. What you're really doing is building up your tension tolerance, kind of like exposure therapy for your eyes. So, step 1, practice on TV news anchors. Seriously, they're trained to never break their gaze, so they're the perfect training partners. Step 2, level up by staring at yourself in a mirror for 30 seconds at a time. And trust me, this is way harder than it sounds. And finally, step 3, grab some sunglasses and practice on real people out in public. The glasses are your secret weapon. They give you a safety net so you can practice without feeling self-conscious.
All right. Once you start getting comfortable with that tension, it's time to open up the toolkit. These are the techniques that take you from just good eye contact to, well, superhuman eye contact. Okay, first up is a number, 80%. This is your magic number for when you're listening to someone. You want to be holding eye contact about 80% of the time. It's the sweet spot. It tells them, hey, I'm locked in, I'm listening. Any more than that, and you start to feel a little intense. Any less, and you just look distracted.
But here's where it gets interesting and a little counterintuitive. When it's your turn to speak, you actually want to drop that number way down to 50%. 50%! Why? Well, if you stare at someone the whole time you're talking, it can feel like you're lecturing or even interrogating them. Dropping to 50% gives them some breathing room. Plus, let's be honest, it also gives your own brain a little break to think about what you're going to say next.
Okay, but this brings up a huge question, right? For that 20% or 50% of the time when you break eye contact, where are you supposed to look? Because looking down at the floor makes you seem weak, and looking at your phone is just rude. There's a much, much better way.
Let me introduce you to something called the eye contact triangle. Just imagine a little triangle on the other person's face. The top 2 points are their eyes, right eye, left eye, and the bottom point is the tip of their nose.
Here's the key. You want to keep your gaze inside that triangle. So when you break direct eye contact, you're not looking away across the room. You're just shifting your focus from one eye to the other eye, maybe down to the nose for a second. It's brilliant. It relieves all that pressure, but from their perspective, you still look completely locked in. You're breaking eye contact without ever breaking the connection. So you're building your tension tolerance, you've got the 80-50 rule down, you're using the triangle, you're all set, right? Not so fast. There's still one massive mistake that even people with good timing make, and it can ruin everything.
It's called zombie eyes. And yeah, it's pretty much as creepy as it sounds.
So what are zombie eyes? It's when you're technically holding eye contact, but your face is just dead, blank, emotionless. It's a vacant stare, and it makes the other person feel super self-conscious, like they're talking to a wall. The fix? It's actually really simple. Use your face. You have to animate your face. Let your eyes and eyebrows react. If they say something funny, smile with your eyes. If they're serious, show concern. Your face needs to match the conversation. That's what makes it huge.
So we've spent all this time talking about how tension is the enemy, how we have to conquer it, reduce it, get rid of it. But what if that's not always true? What if, in certain situations, tension is actually desirable? What if you could learn to control it and use it to your advantage?
This brings us to an advanced technique called sticky eyes. This is all about creating that spark, that desirable, flirtatious tension. Here's how it works. Instead of a quick, clean break when you look away, you do it slowly. You let your gaze linger for just a beat longer, and then you pull it away reluctantly, almost as if your eyes were stuck to theirs with a piece of taffy or glue. See, it's not just about how long you hold eye contact, it's about the quality of the break. That slow, deliberate movement, it creates this incredible feeling of attraction.
Okay, we have covered a ton of ground here, so let's tie it all together. Let's build a simple, powerful system you can start using today.
Here it is, your 4-part system for superhuman eye contact. First, you have to build your tension tolerance. That's your foundation. Second, use the 80-50 ratios as your guide for listening and speaking. Third, always stay inside the triangle when you break contact to maintain that connection. And finally, number 4, animate your face. No more zombie eyes, ever.
And that really brings us to the biggest idea of all. Because at the end of the day, this isn't about learning tricks to win a staring contest or intimidate people. Superhuman eye contact isn't about staring at all. It's about making the other person feel truly, completely seen. It's about connection. And honestly, is there anything more powerful than that?